Welcome back. You are still watching Nedbank Business Watch. On to this now, in a world where a single click can compromise your identity, protecting yourself is no longer an option. This Cybersecurity Awareness Month, arm yourself with knowledge and questions. You should be questioning every request that you get on your social media platforms, on your mobile phones, which is why today we'll speak to Ngulego Ngumalo, who is the Business Information Security Officer at Nedbank, on the subject of social engineering. A very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for coming to our studios today. What is social engineering?
Good afternoon, Notsile, and good afternoon to the viewers. Social engineering is a manipulative technique used by cyber criminals to actually exploit the human trust to gain sensitive information or to gain access to systems or networks that are actually very secure, but they use the humans to have access to those systems. Yes. So we know that we are living in a world where nowadays systems, our networks are very secure, and cyber criminals have looked at other ways to gain access to those systems, and they've understood that now the weakness to the systems, the networks, are the people. So now they are trying to find ways to exploit the users to enable them to have access to those systems, because as I've mentioned, that the systems are now very hard to hack. So this easy way to systems now is to manipulate human trust, try to convince them to get that information that you might need to have access to those systems.
With this threat a reality, why does it work? Why is it that it's so successful?
Social engineering is actually one of the cheapest ways cyber criminals can use to gain access to our information systems or networks in order for them to have access to sensitive or confidential data. It works mostly because as humans, we are gullible at times, or we are very busy to scan around our environment to see if there is something that is suspicious. You might just let someone in through tailgating. Maybe you are coming through your office and you tap your card, and then someone asks you to come in with you. And because you are maybe empathic, you let them in. By so doing, you have let in a cyber criminal into your safety or safe space where they are actually restricted.
Right. Can I tell when I'm being attacked or being socially attacked or being cyber attacked through this platform, socially engineered, that is? Can you give us examples actually?
Yeah, social engineers, they tend to be very predictable, but if you are not very vigilant, you will get caught. They will ask you to act urgently. If you see a sense of urgency in the request, you should now start to question, why is this urgent? Like a request to change your PIN or to change your password, and they would give you like an ultimatum to say you should change it in maybe the next 30 minutes or something will happen. Or else they use fear to make their victims act. You will be told that maybe you have been summoned a court order, and to avoid further consequences, you need to do ABC. Out of fear, maybe you act, and then you find yourself that you are a victim. Right. They also take advantage of desperate times. You know, when you are in need, maybe we have just, for example, there's we saw headlines a few weeks ago whereby an old woman was scammed a huge sum of money. When you are that woman and somebody comes and says, I can help you recover that money. Now you will be desperate to recover that money. And they say, to recover that money, you need to give us this, maybe 10,000 to recover 250,000. Out of desperation, you also fall for that scam and you are scammed again. Those are the things that makes us as humans very that makes us to be easy to scam, because as human we know that you are also empathic people.
Right.
Out of empathy, someone might ask you to give him or her your account. Somebody wants to deposit money into their account, and unfortunately they don't have an account, and they ask you to help them. Because we are empathic, you give them your account,
right,
and they deposit money. You find that that money is coming from a source, or is coming from, is stolen somewhere. And when they trace now, they find that the money was sent into your account, and maybe those people who asked you to give them their accounts have now withdrawn the money from you. And when they are trying to trace, you find that you are now in trouble, because you were trying to be helpful. Yeah, and the other thing that can make us very, we find ourselves in trouble, is because as human we are curious beings.
Naturally.
Yeah, naturally we are very curious. You will find a USB sitting next to your computer, and out of curiosity you will want to see what's inside the USB. And the moment you plug it, maybe it has a ransomware. It starts installing itself, replicating throughout the network, and then you find that the network is shut down.
Right.
Yeah.
Ngulego, you are the expert, and I believe in this particular month, the Cybersecurity Awareness Month, we're going to be having a lot of discussions on digital safety. But you deal with these challenges or these threats on a regular basis, on a daily basis. What are some of the common types of social engineering techniques that you often see or that you often encounter?
There are quite a lot of them, Notile. I will speak to the most popular ones, or the most common ones, which we have phishing. Phishing is whereby cyber criminals will send you an email to say, Notile, your account has been hacked, and to help you secure your account, you need to do ABC. Maybe they give you a link to click, and by clicking that link, it takes you to their site. And whatever happens there, is monitored by the cyber criminals. And the other common type of social engineering is phishing. Phishing is most common in Eswatini, where by social engineers, they call you. It's voice phishing. That's why it is called phishing. So it is the most common one, where we have these scams where they will call you and say, you applied for a grant, maybe what was this? Maybe you have applied for poverty reduction, which is most trending these days.
Yes, everybody wants to find
yeah, yeah. And then you have to click on, or maybe you need to send us money so that you can jump the queue for the grant, you see. And in that call, they will then give you options to pay. And the most common one, we all know it, and then they start giving you the steps to follow, and in that way you lose a big sum of money.
Right.
Yeah. And then another type of social engineering is smishing. Smishing, which is SMS phishing. That's why it is smishing, yeah.
Okay.
Whereby cyber criminals, they will use text messages to say, there is this link, or maybe they say, you need to click this link to win a iPhone 17. And you also need to maybe send it to other people to also stand a better chance to win. And you, out of that
The curiosity. I want to win, of course.
Yes, you want to see, you want to try your luck, and then you click on that link.
Right.
You are gone. Send you to their site. Whatever you do there, you don't have control over it. They have control over everything.
Right.
They do whatever they want. There's also baiting. Baiting is whereby they will drop a USB, and out of curiosity, you will want to see what's inside there.
Of course.
And then you plug it.
Right.
By plugging it, as soon as you plug it, it starts installing ransomware in your computer.
Right.
And then whatever information that was there or systems, it takes them. Then you will have to pay a certain amount of money to gain back those files or systems. Unfortunately, you are not guaranteed that after paying, because they might say, give us 10,000 to get back your files. You pay 10,000. They say, no, we made a mistake, we want 20. You pay again, you keep on paying. So it is not guaranteed that paying ransom to cyber criminals, you will get back your information.
Right.
We also have tailgating. Tailgating is whereby you are getting into a secure place where you have to use maybe your biometric verification, or you have cards. You tap, and then someone who doesn't have access follows you and say, maybe they are carrying something with potence, and now they can't maybe press with their thumb if you verify using your thumb, and they ask you to let them in. Out of sympathy or being a human being trying to be helpful, you see that person is you carrying heavy stuff with her potence, and then you try to be helpful and let them in. Find that we have led them into a restricted area.
Right. For the purpose of this very informative and educational interview or discussion, rather, I'd like for you to speak to our viewers, Ngulego. How can social engineering be countered in our everyday individual digital interactions? What is it that we need to be cognizant of as we use our mobile devices, just as the regular person?
Yeah, well, Notile, social engineering, as we have mentioned earlier, that is targeting the humans. So the more we make people aware of these techniques, it's one of the ways to fight against cyber criminals, because our systems are very secure. So the only way now to keep cyber criminals away from them is to educate the people, let people know that there are these kind of attacks, and if they get requests or they get offers that are too good to be true, and you get phone calls maybe from someone trying to be maybe your boss, you need to verify. Maybe you know your boss's number, and now you get a call from another number that you are not aware of. Can listen, but then try to call your boss with the number that you know to verify the information. Or maybe you are getting a call from someone pretending to be from the IT. You then need to also verify again through the right channels to say, I got a call from you guys earlier on to do ABC. Is it something that you really require me to do?
Right.
To try to verify if it was indeed a legitimate call. Yeah, and then again, what we need to do is to check if the request give you or sparks curiosity. And you do not have to act as soon as you got those requests.
Right.
You need to check, keep calm, try to be, if you maybe are in the office and then you get an email that makes you feel pressured, take a break, then come back and then try to check if this is really a legitimate email, or hoover on some of the links that you would say, the link would say it's coming from Nedbank, but when you try to hoover on it, the link, it pops up the whole address. It takes you to a very completely different site. So you need to check on those things. And you need to verify. You'll get calls pretending to be people from the bank, trying to get information from you. And you know there are things the bank will never ask you. For example, the bank will never ask you for your card details, your username or password. They will never ask for that kind of information. And if you get calls from people requesting you to share with them those kind of information, then you need to act and try to call the bank through the known channels to say, I got a call from you guys saying I have to do ABCD. Why would you want that? Yes.
Fair enough, Ngulego. Thank you so much for your time. Verify the information that you've received or the request that you have received. Be digitally smart, be digitally vigilant. That was Ngulego Ngumalo, the Business Information Security Officer from Nedbank. We were discussing social engineering this Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Stay tuned. The show continues after this.